This is Maneesh Vijaya from PM Raw. I need to share with you something very interesting that happened when I was a younger project manager, one of the first few projects that I worked on. Now, as a very good project manager, I created the schedule of the project, decided, and had a lot of experience in that particular line of work. So I entered all the durations, did a fantastic job with the schedule, beautifully planned, actually. I'm not saying that because I made it, because my managers loved it. And it was actually very well made. And then what I did is I actually had a kickoff meeting, got all my team members together, and I, shared this schedule with them. Now, just imagine one of those offices, and I'm sure it's very popular even today. You have those 5 feet wall open office with the cubicles, right? Not a real office, but a cubicle. The whole office plan is made into cubicles. Now, what happens is that when you walk up to the wall of the cubicle, you can actually see the person, and the person can see you. But if you're slightly away, they can't really see you. So what happened, I actually went to one of the cubicles, walked up from my cabin to the cubicle where some of my team leaders and some of my team members were sitting, and I wanted to explain to them how much time they were supposed to take in a particular, stuff that they were supposed to do. So I went up to them, they stood up, and we talked for a certain period of time. Those guys were very polite, they agreed to everything. And they sat down because I was leaving, right? The discussion was done. So as I was leaving, it suddenly occurred to me that I forgot to tell them something. So I started walking back towards them. These guys did not see me coming. They were already sitting and they were talking to each other. And guess what they were saying? One person was telling the other person, hey, you know what? One of the best jobs is to be a manager. You don't have to do anything. You just have to tell people, what to do. And look at this schedule. Like, look at this. I mean, if this guy, if Vijay had to do it himself, I'm telling you, he's going to, he'll never be able to finish it on time, and he wants us to get it done, right? I don't know what's wrong with this guy. I mean, but I tell you what, managers, they're a joke. I don't know, how do they become managers? Very insulting remarks. For a moment, I became very angry, and I wanted to, of course, not fire, but do something very serious, right? Really, give them some kind of organizational, penalty. But I didn't. And it just occurred to me that, well, actually, it's a very important lesson for me. What the mistake that I did is, despite the fact that I'm a good manager, I did not involve them at all whatsoever in scheduling. Because of my experience, right, in the same domain. And I did the classical mistake of not involving the team members, in the decision making about scheduling. So that's the biggest mistake. Later on, I came to know that Gartner has done a complete study on this as one of the top reasons why conflicts and resistance happens across the world in project environment. And guess what, which is the number one reason? It's not personalities. It's not difference in outlook. It's nothing. The number one is schedule. Priorities. The number one reason. This knowledge itself should be taken in perspective. Yes, I know. When you work with people to create a schedule, it's not going to be easy. People will try to take it away in different directions. Of course, it's going to be very tough, but believe me, the moment you do it and you finish a schedule, you get two things. One is that you get rid, in one single stroke, you get rid of one of the biggest reasons in the world for conflicts from your team. That's one. And the second is you already have automatic buy-in because people participated in it. They might not have agreed to certain things, which is fine, but because they took part in it, there is a certain amount of ownership that has actually permeated to them, right? Automatic buy-in. So one of the best things that you can do is, as a project manager, as a senior manager, always involve your team members or proposed team members in scheduling. You may not be able to involve all of them, but at least involve as many of them as you can. Tell them that these are the constraints that you're facing. This is what the client wants. The time is a big constraint. You'll be surprised how many of the team members will come with ideas and suggestions which you yourself may not have thought of. You could apply some of those ideas, and therein you had the third biggest benefit, and that is bit of team motivation just by involving them in scheduling. This is Maneesh Vijaya from PM Raw, bringing to you practical tips on project management without getting academic. Thank you for watching.